In just 20 minutes, a series of events in the Red Sea may have revealed a major shift in modern warfare. Now, I want to be clear from the start. These are emerging reports and claims that are still being verified, but if even part of this is true, the implications are massive. Stay with me, because what reportedly happened last Tuesday could change how we think about naval power and global supply chains. According to developing reports, the incident began early Tuesday morning around 3:47 a.m. A U.S. supply vessel, often identified in discussions as the USNS Robert E. was said to be moving through the southern Red Sea on what appeared to be a routine mission. Nothing unusual, standard route, standard escort, standard cargo movement. But within minutes, things reportedly escalated very quickly. Around 4 minutes later, defensive systems were said to have been triggered, alarms activated, and response protocols initiated. Within what some sources describe as a 20-minute window, the situation intensified dramatically. Now here's where the story becomes both complex and uncertain. Some claims suggest the vessel may have been carrying a large quantity of military munitions, possibly including interceptor missiles used in modern naval defense. However, it's important to stress that the exact cargo details are not officially confirmed, and numbers circulating online should be treated as estimates, not verified facts. Still, analysts point out that if a supply ship carrying high-value munitions were compromised, the impact would go far beyond a single incident. It would have strategic consequences. Based on currently circulating reports, the incident may have involved a layered attack scenario. The first phase is often described as involving low-flying anti-ship cruise missiles, designed to stay close to the water, making them difficult to detect until the last moment. In such situations, escort ships typically respond using interceptor systems, and according to some claims, interceptions may have occurred, though at least one incoming threat may have made it through. Even a single successful strike near the waterline could cause serious damage, including flooding and system disruption. What reportedly followed is even more concerning. Some sources describe a second wave involving faster, more advanced weapons, often referred to as ballistic-style anti-ship missiles. These travel at extremely high speeds and approach from above, making them far more difficult to intercept. Again, this is based on unconfirmed reporting, but if accurate, it would suggest a coordinated, multi-layered approach designed to overwhelm defensive systems. The key takeaway here is not just the damage itself, but the method. Military experts often emphasize that modern warfare is increasingly about efficiency, timing, and cost balance rather than sheer firepower. Even without confirmed numbers, one concept being widely discussed is asymmetry, where relatively low-cost weapons can potentially threaten extremely high-value assets. If such tactics prove effective, they could force major military powers to rethink how they operate in contested regions. There are already indications, based on open-source tracking and reports, that naval activity in the region may be adjusting. Some movements appear more cautious, and certain routes may be under review. While this does not confirm every detail of the incident, it does suggest that the perceived risk in the region is being taken seriously. Zooming out, this story is not just about one ship. The Red Sea is one of the most critical maritime corridors in the world, with roughly 10 to 12% of global trade passing through it. This includes oil, raw materials, and consumer goods that impact economies worldwide. If threats in this region increase, whether real or perceived, the consequences could extend far beyond military strategy. Shipping routes may be altered, insurance costs could rise, and supply chains may become more expensive and complex. Early indicators already suggest that risk assessments related to this region are evolving. While global trade will continue, increased tension can lead to delays and higher operational costs, and ultimately, those effects can reach everyday consumers. The bigger picture here is important. Whether or not every detail of this specific incident is confirmed, the discussion it has triggered is very real. Questions are now being asked about the effectiveness of naval defense systems, the security of supply chains, and the ability of production systems to keep up during high-intensity conflict scenarios. In modern warfare, outcomes are not decided by a single moment alone. They are shaped by logistics, sustainability, and the ability to adapt. Disruptions, even temporary ones, can have lasting ripple effects. As more verified information becomes available, some of these claims may be confirmed, while others may be corrected or disproven. That's why it's important to approach stories like this with a critical mindset, separating verified facts from early reports. One thing, however, is clear. The Red Sea is becoming an increasingly important focal point in global security, and developments in this region will continue to have far-reaching implications. This story is still unfolding, and the next update could bring more clarity to what really happened.